Hi, holistic students. It's Mrs. Shomura-Takata again. So I'm here to talk about your second packet that you got and how to cut it out and how to glue it into your composition book. Okay, so you should have received this packet, and for this first page, you will cut out this big old oceans map, I should say, and then below it, the 4 oceans rounded rectangle. Okay. One quick thing. There are 5 major oceans now in the world. We are only going to be talking about the 4 for this particular map. Okay? So just letting you know. The next page. Okay, now this one's a little bit tricky, so you might need to pause for this one. You are only going to cut out the part over here that says cardinal directions. So you will cut on this dotted line. Okay, you're not going to need this part. You will also cut on this dotted line and just cut out this rounded U shape. You don't need this, and you don't need this. Sorry. You don't need either of these, and you don't need this. So these 3 things you will not need. You just need this part here, cardinal directions, and this part here. Okay. Next page is intermediate directions. So the intermediate directions, similar, you will just cut out the part that says intermediate directions. You will cut this time on this dotted line. Okay, then you will cut out this entire box on the dark line. You will not cut this out. You do not need these. We are going to write those in. These pieces just get too small. People lose them. So we're just going to write it in. Okay, so just cut this box out and the intermediate directions heading on the dotted line. The next page, what is a map legend? You will cut this out, and this is going to be a flap with a P. Okay, so cut on the dark solid line. Then you will cut on this rounded rectangle, reading a map legend. Okay. The next page, this one's easy. You're just going to cut this entire thing out, the whole thing. Okay. The next page, you're going to hold it this way. You are going to cut this thing out here. Now this is old because this is an iPod. I don't even know if they make iPods anymore. This was before everybody had cell phones that played music and streamed music. So you're going to cut this out. Then you will cut this out, latitude and longitude tune, on the solid black lines. And then you will cut this out. And when I cut mine out, I just kind of cut around it. I didn't quite cut on the lines. You can, but you could just kind of cut around the words as well. Okay? The next page are going to be 2 flaps. So you cut on the solid line all the way around. Solid line, latitude and longitude, and you're going to be writing notes under the flaps. The next one, you are going to just cut this out into a big rectangle. I guess it's not quite a square, rectangle. You do not need to cut these 2 arrows out. We are just going to draw an arrow and write in. So just cut this whole big rectangle out. And the last page, you are going to cut the physical and political map, cut around the whole thing, but there's a second step. So you're going to cut around here, and then you're going to cut up that solid line. So you'll end up having 2 pieces, a political map piece and a physical map piece. Okay, so if I went too fast on how to cut and cut these pieces out, these pages out, please pause and rewind if you need to. What I'm now going to do is show you how you should glue it into your composition book. Okay, so yesterday you left off with the last three alphabetical order continents: Europe, North America, and South America. So for the next page, you are going to glue down oceans. And if you recall, I said it was going to be a flap. So you will just glue this top part down. You will fold it, and then you will glue this down flat. So it's just a flap. And then you'll have the answers under here. So we're going to be writing on this. The next page is cardinal directions. So you will glue this flat, and then you will just glue this flat with a T. Okay? So yeah, this is just, remember, a lot of this is just a resource. So we're going to go over this. Intermediate directions. You're going to glue that flat, and then you will glue this square with this compass rose. This guy's called a compass rose, this symbol. And you're going to glue this flat as well. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 glue dots. Remember, don't go crazy with the glue. You don't want to mess up your composition book. Okay? The next page. Yes. What is a map legend? This is a flap, as you saw me flip it. Okay? So you'll fold on this solid line, and then you'll glue this part here. Okay? This bottom, reading a map legend, is just going to be glued down flat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 glue dots. Okay? This one's easy. Just 5 glue dots. Glue it down. Not a flap. Okay? This one is a little bit tricky. Okay, so remember the iPad. You're going to glue that down flat. So let me pull this up again. Sorry. Okay. So remember this? You're going to glue this part flat. That's going to be first. Okay? Then this top one is going to be a flap. And if you can see, there's a dotted line. You're going to fold on that dotted line. And then underneath here is the song or the poem, whatever we're going to call this. And this is going to be glued flat. So like I told you, you could trim it. You could have left it like this, but I kind of trimmed around it so that you could actually see it. Sometimes if students don't cut it really close or cut it precise, they end up covering part of the song, the tune. So you might want to just kind of trim around and then glue this flat and then glue this so that it is a flap. Okay? The next page are the latitude and longitude flaps. So you're just going to put 3 glue dots on the top and then make sure they're not hanging over the edge of the book. Locate the equator and prime meridian. This is flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 glue dots. Now the last one. I know that when you cut it out, it was looking really fancy. It was like, ooh, we're going to make this look like a door. Yeah, we're going to just do it like this because it's easier to read. We just make it so we can write here. So physical map, you're going to make it a flap with a P. You're going to put your glue dots here so that we can write notes. And then the political map, glue dots up here, fold it so that you can write notes. Okay? And you are done with the geography section of your social studies composition book. Okay? And we are going to start this and we're going to be writing notes in it. And again, I want to remind you that social studies and language arts teachers are using this as a resource for you. So you can take notes in it. We're going to be writing notes in it. And when it comes time for you to do formatives and things like that, you can use this book because it has your notes. Okay? So try to keep it as neat as possible. Alrighty, so we'll see you later. Bye.